Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have some more flea market finds. Yes, the flea market strikes again, although I didn't find stuff near as, rare or expensive as the last time. I did still find some pretty cool stuff, and again, for pretty darn cheap. It's odd, though, that this time the prices were absolutely different than they were the last time, and it was the same exact person. And last time they were selling these small dinosaurs for 50 cents a piece, and then these bigger dinosaurs, besides my Resource Rex, for $2 a piece. This time, the larger dinosaurs, were $1 a piece, and then they had a bag that had a whole bunch of stuff in it for $3. Not a lot, just a very small amount, but it was $3 for the whole bag. So I've got the bag. I think we'll take a look at the bag last because it looks like it's probably kind of the coolest stuff. But again, nothing absolutely extraordinary in this group of figures, but still pretty fun. Fun enough that I felt like it would be a neat video. So the first one is the Terabybitat Ceratosaurus. And even though I already have this version, I think twice potentially, I really couldn't say no for $1. I mean, it's not like you see these guys at Target anymore. They are still available on Amazon, so you can still purchase them on there. But you just don't see them as often as you used to, and I've always kind of wanted to repaint one, so I think that may be what happens to that one. But still a pretty fun figure for $1. And these other figures, again, I'm surprised were $1 because they're pretty big, and even though they're definitely not the best figures, it seems as though the person that's selling these has no idea what they're selling, so it's not like they value them correctly, so I kind of just expected them to be more. But we have some of the Jasmine dinosaurs, and obviously this one's a pterosaur. We've got a pteranodon, but these figures are always really cool. I always like these. They're huge. First of all, you can see pretty darn big pterosaur. I will say the pteranodon's probably the worst out of all of them, but these figures were made, I think, in the late 90s, and they were something that at the time were pretty cool. I have a lot of them, including this pteranodon. I don't know if I have the pteranodon in good shape like that one is, though. We've also got the Spinosaurus from the Jasmine line, and this one's pretty cool because it's just such... Actually, let's put the camera up a little bit bigger so we can, or a little bit taller, so we can see it a little bit better. But you can see, again, the dinosaurs are definitely not the best out there when it comes to the general appearance, even for a late 90s version of the Spinosaurus. The head sculpt's just really goofy looking. I always still did like this one, and I don't know if I have this version of the Spino. Well, I do now, but I don't know if I did before. And you can see, it's not in bad shape by any means. It's got some decent paint work that I don't see too many chips of paint on or anything, so pretty darn sweet to find that one over there. And then we also have this one, and I forget which one this one is meant to be. I don't know if this one was their attempt at a Diplodocus or an Apatosaurus or what, but I know I did not have this figure prior, so I have the smaller one, but I didn't have the bigger one like this, or I'm pretty sure at least that I don't. Sometimes when you have this many dinosaurs, it's hard to keep track, but I was pretty psyched to see this one there again, just because it's one that I don't believe I have already, and one that I've kind of been, wanting for a while. Not like a massive, huge member of my want list, but it was one that I always said to myself, if I see it for a decent price, definitely going to pick it up. And then one that, even though I already have probably two of already, I'm really excited about because we got the Carnotaurus again, and I love this figure. And this one's actually in really good shape, considering it's kind of like your tail dragging on the ground version of a Carnotaurus. It's pretty darn exciting to have this sort of almost like a vintage take on a Carnotaurus. It has a weird kind of metallic color to it over the top, but still an awesome looking kind of old school version of the Carnotaurus from Jasmine. So that's all of those figures that I was able to acquire. That's all the Jasmines that they had at the time, but they also had this little bag full of dinosaurs that they were selling, and you can see $3. You got a little price tag there. That's how much they were asking for it. And I can definitely see that there's some pretty fun stuff in here. Nothing, again, let's go the other way. Nothing, again, that's super, super rare, but still pretty cool. So the first one is this, which is a definitely Dinosaurs, Brontosaurus, I believe it is. And this one, I think, might have been one of the McDonald's figures. It definitely wasn't one of the mainline figures from the Definitely Dinosaurs line, but I am a huge fan of the old Definitely Dinosaurs line. I grew up playing with those things like mad, and was always trying to collect them as a child. And I think I got all of them as a kid except for the Ultrasaurus, which I now, as an adult, have, but didn't have it back then. We've also got an old bootleg of a Stegosaurus, so nothing special there, as well as this guy, which is kind of a cool looking, almost vintage style Styracosaurus. Almost looks kind of like the Planet of Dinosaurs Styracosaurus. So the more I look at him, the more I kind of like him. That's one that maybe I will repaint, which I have a ton of these cheap dinosaurs I want to repaint at some point. There is also this really cheap looking kind of old school sort of Ceratosaurus. I kind of like him. He's kind of neat. Not great, but still kind of cool. As well as this thing, which I just absolutely hate this figure. There's just something about it that I cannot stand. As well as this guy, which these ones are like the most vintage of dinosaurs that I absolutely had so many of when I was a kid, where you could like stick your finger in their mouth and they just kind of hang on there. But you can very clearly see, again, we've got another Styracosaurus. Kind of a sort of okay figure. But the final 4 figures I think we have down here. Yeah, it looks like there's 4 are the ones that are probably the coolest out of this entire bag, and pretty much the reason why I actually started to buy some of the stuff that they had over there, because I think I have mostly everything, including these. But for $3 for these 4 figures, I was like, well, I can't say no. And you can see, if my camera would focus on it, we have one of the Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus figures, and I think these are by a company called Dakin or Dakin. I don't know exactly how you say the name of the company. They're old school Jurassic Park figures that are not the best, for sure, but they were pretty cool, and it was something that way back in the day I definitely missed out on, and I was able to acquire at least most of them later on. I don't know if I have the full line or not, but I actually still have them in the packaging, so this is my first chance to actually check them out of the packaging, because I never opened them. And then another one, which is actually probably my favorite of all of them, is the Gallimimus. I don't know, I just really love Gallimimus, and I specifically love the Jurassic Park version of Gallimimus, so definitely hyped to have that figure included in there. I actually don't know if I have the Gallimimus prior to this. I don't think I do. And he does not want to stand. I don't know if he stands at all. No, it doesn't seem like it. He's got like a warped leg problem going on. Oh boy, he's a problem and a half. We've also got this one, which honestly, I'm not sure if that's meant to be a Velociraptor or what. I'm, again, not too familiar with the figures, but it's definitely another one of those Dakin JP figures. You can see the JP stamp. The paint's a little worn off, but I'm going to have to look into these guys after this video's over, because I'm not actually positive on what species that is meant to be. I think the raptor, I would think anyway. And then the final one would be the T-Rex with his arms open like he's coming in for a big hug. But still, again, really cool stuff. Better than nothing, which is what I usually get at the flea market, but not better than the last score that I had, which definitely had some way cooler stuff, at least as far as rarity goes. But still some pretty cool stuff. Cool enough that I thought it would be fun to make a video out of to show you guys. Not cool enough that it's the best score I've ever had, that's for sure. But again, for $3 for the entire bag, and then $1 a piece for these larger figures, what are we looking at? I forget what I spent, so about like $8 or something for all of this. I mean, that's really a price that you can't go wrong with. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think, if there's anything here you would like to see reviews of, or anything you might have in your collection. And also like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.